Well, we've been getting tons of rumors about the Batman Part 2, and some of them involve some pretty classic Batman family characters, which fans have been dying to see come to life for forever. So let's take a couple minutes to talk about the addition of Dick Grayson to this movie, what villain they might be facing off against, and how valid all of these stories are. Well, we've been hearing a ton of rumors over the last couple of days about Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman sequel. Now, we all know there's a strike going on, so a lot of stuff is not moving forward. But Matt Reeves doesn't move at a blistering pace anyway, and I honestly think the strike is not impacting his film very much. Since the release of The Batman about a year and a half ago, we've been wondering when we're going to get the sequel and what it's going to be all about, with a plethora of rumors following the production, none of which have been confirmed. Now, over the last week, we've gotten two really big stories, and both involve major characters inside the Batman universe. The first one involves who one of the, if not the primary villain of the upcoming movie will be. And it's being reported that it'll be none other than Clayface. Now I have to say, I'm taking this one with a total grain of salt because I'm not very sure how Clayface fits in. Now typically in the comics, he's this giant pile of clay that can metamorphosize, basically disguising himself as anybody that he wants. But this really doesn't feel like it fits into the world that Matt Reeves has already given us in that first movie. The first Batman film was super grounded, so I feel like if we're going with Clayface, fans should expect quite a different version. Quite honestly, if we get Clayface in this film, I might suspect he might have some sort of scars, like a lot of other Matt Reeves villains. But I think this will probably be the classic thespian version who uses his skills of disguise to foil the Dark Knight and provide that detective aspect of a story that we've been missing all along. Now, will these border on supernatural levels of disguise? I'm totally sure. But I don't think we're going to get the morphine clay we've become so accustomed to in the various animated movies and series. In any case, Clayface, in almost any iteration, could make a great villain for Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman movie, but like I said, I do suspect we'll be leaning into reality, and that likely will have the classic Golden Age version of the character. And this leads us to the second Batman update, which was even more interesting. Now, this comes from Scooper My Time to Shine Hello, and you guys know how we feel about anonymous scoopers on this page. If it's not confirmed by DC Studios, James Gunn, or Matt Reeves, we're taking it with a grain of salt, and when we have scoopers that don't identify themselves, we add a little bit extra because there's zero accountability. Now, it doesn't mean My Time isn't right now and then, and he does hit a lot of home runs, but we want to give it the proper preface because we want to represent the truth here, and sometimes scoopers are just out for the clicks. Now, what he is reporting is he is indeed hearing that Dick Grayson will be part of the Batman 2. Now, how far along his crime-fighting career, we don't know, but we do know this will be a rather young version of the character because what he is saying is he will actually be 13 years old. Now, if you're a fan of Robin in the comics, especially the early versions of the comics, the Boy Wonder was indeed a really young kid and has been depicted as a teenager in multiple runs and variations over the years. One of the best things actually about Dick Grayson is that in the comics he started as a kid, and as a comic fan, we've grown up with him, seeing him grow into an older version of Robin, eventually Nightwing, and even taking up the mantle of Batman. There's actually only been one previous live-action big-screen incarnation of Dick Grayson, who was played by Chris O'Donnell back in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. But he's been part of a bunch of animated projects, as well as live action in the Titan series, as well as the classic Batman 1960s television series. He actually was almost part of Tim Burton's Batman universe, with a whole new version of Robin being played by comedian Damian Wayans. But that never came to fruition. Now, all the plot details for the upcoming Batman movie are completely under wraps. We know that Max Penguin series is going to set up the upcoming show, so if we are going to get Clayface, we might actually get teased with that in the upcoming series, and maybe even see the Flying Graysons at a circus. But how all that works out, we're going to have to wait and see.